Hello everyone, I'm Gaston from Easy Software Developer, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about JavaScript arrays. We're going to go over what are JavaScript arrays, how to use them, and also different array methods that help you do things with arrays that are much easier than if you were to write them yourself. So first things first, before we jump into the code, what are arrays? So arrays are a special kind of variable that allows you to store multiple values inside the same variable. So I'm going to show you that in the code right now. So this is how an array looks like. And as you can see, we have the names and every single thing inside of it is of the same kind. So JavaScript doesn't force you to have it as the same kind. You can have different things, but it's a good practice for all the values inside of your array to be of the same type. Let's print out the value of these arrays just so we see how they look on the console. And I'm going to be using Node just to print these out, but you can do this wherever JavaScript runs, but in this case I'm going to use Node. So here we are, and on my console I'll just run node array.js, and then I have the array that shows up there. If you don't have Node yet, you can check out my tutorial. I'm going to put a link on the description so that you can check out a tutorial on how to install all of these basic things that every web developer needs on their computer, just like Node. And let's say you want to add things or remove things from this array, we can do that. So let's say names, we first log out the first, and then let's add another name with the method push, and the next name is going to be Robert. So now we should expect that once we print, Robert is going to be added to the names array. So first, on this line, there's not going to be any Robert, but on the next line, there should be a Robert added to the array. Let's see. There we go. So we have Robert here added to our array, and that's how we add them. And if we want to remove an item, there is also an array method called pop. So you don't need to know this right now, but the way the array is organized, you can do a push, it adds to the end of the array, and if you do a pop, it will remove from the end of the array. Of course, there are ways to remove from specific places, but at this moment, we can just do a quick pop to remove the last item of the array. So now we shouldn't see Robert at the end. We should only see Robert on the middle and not at the end. Great, so here we do the push and then we see Robert, and then we do the pop and then Robert is gone. Now we move into the fun part where we have the different array methods, and these are my favorite ones to use. And I picked just 4: map, sort, find, and join. And first, let's start with map. And the map method is used when you want to do some operation with this array and then return the modified array over to your new variable. So in this case, we're going to add last names to every single one of these names because they're all part of the same family in my example. So we do a map. And then the map will offer you a variable name, and this is going to represent the element inside the array. So I gave it the name of a name, but you can give any name to it, X, Y, but as long as it's something representative of the original array. And then right here, we need to do some operation and return something. So I like to do it like this here. So I'm just going to do a name, and I'm going to add a last name to it, and everyone is going to have the same last name. So everyone's last name is Walker. And notice here that I didn't put a return or anything because this is just a single line. Then I don't need to add a return or to add brackets or anything. This is fine. Now we can assign this to a new array. So this new array can be called full names, and we equal it to names, and then we can log out this. So now let's see what happens. There we go. So we see Joseph, Mark, Jane, Joseph Walker, Mark Walker, and Jane Walker. So we did an operation, we created a brand new array, and then we returned that array. The second method we're going to use is sort. And as you might know already, sort just sorts the elements in the array. We can make it a bit more complex by comparing them ourselves, but we can also just leave it up to JavaScript, and JavaScript is going to do the comparison for us. So if we just do a console log, And let's just do names dot sort without any parameters inside. We just call sort, and JavaScript should sort these alphabetically. And right there we have Jane, Joseph, and Mark. So instead of Joseph, Mark, and Jane, we have Jane, Joseph, and Mark. And now the next method is one of the more interesting ones, which is find. So this is a very common operation. You just want to find something inside your array, and you can do that by doing a find. And here we're going to get the elements, so the name, and we want to find whoever is called Mark. So if we find Mark, JavaScript is going to return us the value Mark. So if JavaScript finds Mark inside this array, it's going to return us the value Mark. But if it doesn't, it's going to return us the value undefined. So let's try both of those situations out. So here, if we run it, so here you see we get back Mark, and afterwards we get back undefined. So you can use this to see if you found something. And the last method that we're going to check is join. So the join method allows us to join everything inside the array with one character. So for example, if we have multiple numbers and we want to join them with a dash, then we would use join for it. But in this case, since we have names, I'm going to join them by is a sibling maybe. I'm just gonna see what comes up. So let's do a join on the names. And what is going to be the separator between those things? Sibling, I think sibling is better, of. So we do that. So now I expect it to say Joseph is the sibling of, Mark is the sibling of Jane, and that's it. And there we go. So we have Joseph is the sibling of Mark, is the sibling of Jane. So this is what join is for. Yeah. So this is a quick trick that I would like to show you guys. It's not really a method, but it's something that I use pretty often, which is when you have two arrays and you want to put them together, how do you do that? And I like to do it by destructuring, which is basically doing this. So I want both arrays to be together. So I'm going to do students A, and then we have students B. But what we can actually do is put both of those in an array and then add 3 dots in front of each of them, and now we're going to have an array that joins both of them. As you can see right here. There we go. Don, Dennis, Hector, Anna, Yolanda, and Sylvia. And this is Destructuring. And I made another video about Destructuring where I go into different ways that you can destructure, but this is one of the tips that I gave on that video, which is regarding arrays. So if you would like to join two arrays, this is how you could do it as well. So that was our quick introduction into JavaScript arrays. And if you have any more questions, you can ask them in the comment section down below, or you can also go to my Instagram, Easy Software Developer, and I'm active there every single day, so you can send me questions there as well. But for now, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.